Hi there. Welcome. I'm Susan K. Morrow, also known as Suzi-Q A. Why? Because I'm Susie, you bring the Q's, and I'll provide you with the psychic A's. Welcome to another edition of my web TV Phenom, and I am open to taking suggestions on a new name for the web TV Phenom. I know that it works great for the Facebook Phenom or the Facebook Phenomenon, but I need a good name for this. I mean, it's free psychic readings, streaming live on web TV. So help me come up with a name. Suzi-Q A, live on web TV. Okay, welcome everyone. I'm going to draw us a card to kind of start a theme for us for today's readings. You don't have to ask a question that pertains to that at all, whatever topic is on your mind. But what usually happens is whatever card I pull, I notice that things kind of flow with that theme. Not just here, but for other events that I do. So we're going to get started with that in just a minute. In the meantime, I want to give you a little bit of instruction, a couple of things to know, technical bits and pieces. What was it that my friend Kip used to call it? Administrivia. So first of all, this is a commercial channel, and that means there will be advertisements during this broadcast. I apologize for that, but the cost of a private channel is outside of my reach right now. Secondly, you will need to look over here and click on the tab that says chat and sign up to be able to chat. In a couple of minutes, I'll start taking your first, oh, now I've got the technical stuff, and I'm doing it without glasses. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Anyway, I'll start taking your first questions and giving psychic answers in just a few minutes, as soon as we get some of this stuff out of the way and as soon as we have drawn our angel card. A couple of other announcements really quickly. You may or may not be on my mailing list. If you'd like to be included in my emails, please go to susankmorrow.com. And I've got that written down somewhere. Oh, looks like we're going to have an ad for a minute. Still having an ad, sorry. At least I am. Okay. All right, I think we're back. I hope you're back. I'm back. Hi, I'm Susan K. Morrow, and I was saying that if you're not already on my mailing list, you may want to get on my mailing list. I send you a free report when you sign up, and I also will send you usually two emails a week, unless we've got a special event like this one today, in which case I might send you out a reminder. But the emails consist of, the newsletters consist of any kind of announcements, things like woo-woo stories about things that have happened to me as a psychic. I often share blog posts. For example, I recently read the 2 presidential candidates and put that on my blog, and so that was very interesting. It was interesting for me, and the feedback I've gotten has been very, very good. So you might want to check that out at susankmorrow.com/blog. Also in my blog, I've started a series on the colors of energy, and I've already covered red and orange, so you can look at those as well. The other thing you get with my newsletters is announcements about any kind of specials I'm doing, although, as you may know, I recently lowered my rates on almost everything by up to 50%. So everything's so affordable now that I'm really not going to have to do any sales or specials or anything like that. But when you sign up for the newsletter, you get an offer for 10% off of a couple of good things. So you might want to check that out. It'll be in the top right-hand corner of any page on my website. Okay? Okay, and again, that's susankmorrow.com. All right, I'm going to draw us a card. And you know I'm doing this without my glasses, so bear with me. I am using my usual favorite deck, which if you have seen my angel cards, and there are some on my blog as well, and also here and on YouTube. If you've seen when I draw angel cards, I usually use my favorite deck, not always, but usually use this one. This is Doreen Virtue's Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. It is Doreen Virtue, PhD. She makes the best angel cards, in my opinion. And if you would like to invest in a deck of angel cards for yourself, they really are not very expensive. You can find them online or at the bookstore under Metaphysical or Self-Improvement, and learn how to use them. It comes with a little instruction book. They all do. And you can just pull one card for yourself every morning, see how it guides your day. You can deal it out the way that they teach you in the book. You can become a fortune teller if you like. In the meantime, I have a card for us. Okay. Today's card is Tranquility. See, it has a mermaid in a bubble bath. Isn't that cute? That's why I like the mermaids and dolphin cards. Make time to relax, be still, and enjoy your solitude, indulging in much needed self-care. It's a really good card. I mean, this is something, you know, the thing about oracle cards or angel cards is that you can look at them all and go, well, yeah, this would pretty much apply to me or anybody at any given moment. But you get the card that you get at that given moment. So that's what makes it significant to you at the time. You know, certainly you can go through the whole deck and most of the cards would probably apply to you, but you get what you get. And so that's the significance of it and the meaningfulness. You know, like I always say, if it means something to you, it means something to you. So as for tranquility, taking time to relax and be still and indulge in self-care, I feel like the be still really jumped out at me. There was something that I put on Facebook or my blog or something recently that was about a verse from the Bible that says, be still and know that I am God. And so being still and calming your mind and connecting with God, universe, higher self, your angels and guides, your inner guidance, that's what this card's about, is to find the time in each day, even a few minutes, to sit and be still and listen. Listen for what's coming into you, what's guiding you, how does it feel? So that's what that's about. Hope that makes sense to you. Let's go over to chat and let's see if we've got anybody chatting in questions yet. If you're just arriving, please go over here on the left and sign up to chat. You can chat in your questions and I will give you my psychic answers. I'm going to have to put on the glasses so I can see. Okay, so we're getting started here. Come on and chat in your question. I'm ready to take it. In the meantime, you know what? I'm going to go grab a book real quick, if you'll excuse me. I'm reading this really cool new book. I'll be right back. Okay, hi, I'm back. This book was a gift to me from a friend in Australia. Hi, Nick. And it's by Wayne Dyer, the famous philosopher and, I don't know, guru, I guess, of the modern age. And this book is called Wishes Fulfilled. And here's the thing, you know, of course I have read a lot of that type of book, right? A lot of woo kind of books, or, you know, this is subtitled Mastering the Art of Manifesting. So I've read a lot of books like that, and you may have read my recommendations for books like The Attractor Factor by Dr. Joe Vitale, which I think is a great manifestation book, especially since it's extremely close to my own 3D process, which is a manifestation tool, and you'll find that in my blog. But also, you know, I've read a lot of things by Abraham Hicks, Abraham-hicks.com, highly recommend. And all kinds of things. Deepak Chopra, I've read a lot of different things. I haven't ever read any Wayne Dyer. And what's great about this book so far, several things are great about this book so far. One is that just cracking it open seemed to cause positive shifts for me. That happened when I read The Attractor Factor as well. And I've read it 2 or 3, 4 times by now. And every time I start reading it, things shift for the better in my life. And so that's that this came along, and just like the timing was so perfect, you know. The other thing is that I don't think there's really anything in it that I don't already know. And maybe, you know, maybe I'm philosophically advanced, but it's being said in ways that I need to read this time. You know, everybody learns differently, but I think most teachers will agree that repetition really helps things to sink in, and especially if it's repeated in different ways so that you can absorb it differently. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can be still and feel it. So yeah, so anyway, I want to recommend the book. I'm not very far into it. I'm only like, you know, that much into it. But I do recommend the book, and I could even read you a little bit of it. I'm sure Dr. Dyer wouldn't mind. Changing your concept of yourself. If you would like to become a person who has the capacity to have all of your wishes fulfilled, that's the name of the book, Wishes Fulfilled, it will be necessary for you to move to that higher plane of existence where you are a co-creator of your life. This means that you'll need to undertake what is often presumed to be the difficult task of changing your concept of yourself. Okay, so this is the same thing that Abraham Hicks talks about, the same thing Joe Vitale talks about, the same thing I talk about, that you have to recognize the divine within, and you have to have the understanding that you are creating what's going on in your life. It's not happening to you. Life isn't doing things to you, for better or worse. You're creating and attracting everything that's going on. So it's another version of that, and I find it to be very useful and inspiring. So I recommend that. Let's see what's going on here. La 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 la. Let me get out here, and there will be some pauses like this in between readings. And I will be doing a couple of technical things while we're having our session today. The last time we did this, we didn't have a whole lot of people, but it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Very interesting. I just went over to Facebook and kind of to, you know, let people know that we're here. And the first thing that came up is somebody who's posted a picture of a little chart that compares the candidates. And it's so funny that, and I'm not saying what it's favoring or not favoring, but it's interesting because I did just do that psychic reading on both the candidates, and you can kind of compare their personalities, their strengths and weaknesses, and so that's kind of an interesting deal. Let's see here. Okay, the name of the book again is Wishes Fulfilled by Wayne Dyer, and I will put that in the chat box as well. There you go. Okay, anybody else have a question? Glad that you asked, because it is a really good book and I do recommend it. And now everybody can see it in the chat box, so that's good. That's handy. You know, I would like to just have my little sign for my website handy, and I don't know why I find it so difficult to keep it handy. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. You know, why don't I just pick a place and keep it? So there it is. Okay, this is my website. So all the talking I've been doing about my website and the blog and the comparing the candidates and all that sort of thing, you'll find all of that right here, along with all my services and the opportunity to sign up for my newsletters and a free report. So that's SusanKMorrow.com, SUSAN, middle initial K, MORROW.com, just like tomorrow. I do have an announcement that you may have noticed in my latest newsletter, that I have joined Fiverr.com. If you're not familiar with Fiverr, it's FIVERR.com. And it is sort of a clearinghouse. It's where people post, I will do XYZ for you for $5. And as far as I know, it's all clean stuff. But people will make videos for you. They'll write a slogan for you. They'll write a jingle for you. They'll do all kinds of things. And some of us will psychic for you for $5. And so I've joined Fiverr, and that's pretty exciting and cool and fun. I've already had quite a few takers on that, and I promise more than a yes or no answer. I promise I'll give you at least a short paragraph answering your question, and then I offer you 10% off a full private reading. So you can't go wrong for $5, you know. We'll see how long I have the time to do this and how many of them come in. But the big news is that the address has changed. It is now called Fiverr.com/Suzi-Q A. So that is FIVERR.com/SUZIQANDA. I know. I need to make a little sign. I'll make a little sign. Let me get out a Sharpie. It's actually, that account is not quite active yet, but it will be soon. So I'm going to write that down for you, and I'll put it in all my links and so forth as soon as it's up and going. Okay. Okay, so here we go. This is the address for my Fiverr page, www.fiverr.com, that's FIVERR.com/Suzi, SUZIQANDA. Because you know I'm Suzi Q A, because I'm Suzi, you bring Q's and I'll provide the psychic A's. So there you go. Looks like we've got an ad again. Okay. All right, looks like we're back. Okay, once again, I was just talking about my new Fiverr page. It's actually not up yet, but I want you to have the new address, and I'll be linking to it in my signature and so forth. So it is Fiverr.com, that's 2 R's, /SuziQ and A. And so you've got to spell it SUZIQ and A. But you'll see that all over my website. When you go to my website, you'll see how I spell Suzi Q and A, so it kind of makes it a little easier. Maybe it should just be psychiclady.com. I used to actually have a different name. The name of my business when I first started was Sister Mystic, and some of you know that. Some of you have already been out there and you've seen that. And if you go to sistermystic.com, you'll still get to my website. But the reason I did that when I first started was that I wanted my business name to say something about what I did. And you may have seen the picture of me where I've got the cow in kind of a burgundy color, and I'm going like this. And it's a really cool picture. And it was truly a happy accident by the photographer. It was just great. But anyway, I always thought of that picture as being kind of tongue-in-cheek. You know, my friends used to call me spooky because of the kind of weird work that I do. And so the picture was kind of tongue-in-cheek to kind of act like I was, you know, Madame Marushka, that was your future, you know, kind of a thing. I'm definitely not Eastern European. Anyway, so I had the name Sister Mystic, so it kind of conveyed something about what I was offering. And then after a couple of years, when I got to be a little bit better known, and because other people who do things like I do brand their names, I switched to my name. Now, like I said, you can still go Suzi-Q, you can still go to sistermystic.com and get to my website, but you'll really find me by my name, either Susan K. Morrow or Suzi-Q A. And so that's, you know, that's who I am, and that's where we are. I see that some of you don't have ads at the same time I have ads. So again, I apologize about the ads. It is a commercial channel. That's how they support the technology. And that's what we do here. So, okay, I'm going to do a little technical stuff and look around here a little bit online. Check my mail real quick. Got some important stuff coming in. And so if you have a psychic question or a question for the psychic, please chat it in over here on the left. You may have to register to be able to chat and confirm an email. Okay. Hey, Marty. Hi, Susan. You look very nice today. Thank you very much. My husband was discharged from the hospital yesterday and is talking gibberish. What do you think happened? A stroke or too many meds? No, I think it's within his brain chemicals in some way. It could have been a stroke, or it could be some other unbalance. I don't think it's related to his medications. I feel like his care was very good, but that something went wrong in his brain actually. So I assume you're going to the neurologist as soon as possible anyway, but if you're not, please do. As you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not medically trained. I'm just a medical intuitive, which is a little bit different. But yeah, what I'm seeing is sort of it's sort of like, I said I can just describe it. It's like in the left hemisphere of his brain, which would affect the right side of his body, there's some inflammation and what looks like, you know, your brain's kind of spongy. And so it looks kind of like you spilled the bucket of mop water and it's kind of seeping into the corners. And then it takes the path of least resistance, being water, and so then it goes out of this corner and into that corner. And so things are kind of coming and going for him. And that's what's causing this response. So that's what I see as a medical intuitive. If you haven't made an appointment with the neurologist, please do so. And that will give you your answer. I do think he will make a full recovery, okay? I'm sure he's going to be very, very fine. It's just going to take some time. And as always, talk to your doctor, listen to what your doctor says. Do as your doctor says and what you feel is right for you. I have to always say that because I'm not a doctor. Oh, okay, excellent. Neurologist appointment is forthcoming. Excellent. Excellent. I'm confident that you will get what you need. odd. Odd, very odd. Okay, welcome back, Mosaic Time. And from your ad, hello, Susan. I hope you are well. What do I need to know right now? What is odd? Would love to know. Mosaic Time, I'm going to need some more clarification on that one. Okay, so Regome says, hello, Susan. I hope you're well. Thank you. What do I need to know right now? Okay, you know this is one of my favorite questions because I always feel like, you know, if you get a chance for one question, it's kind of like having three wishes. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to blow it. You know, I don't want to ask the less important question. What if I really need, you know, okay. Just put it all into one. What do I need to know right now? So this is an answer for Regome, Regome. Everybody has their own little screen names. So what do you need to know right now? Ooh, okay. I said draw a card. So you're getting a card. That's what you need to know. All right. It's a handy tool. These are the same cards that I opened this session with. The Magical Mermaids and Dolphins by Doreen Virtue, whom I highly recommend. Go check them out at the bookstore. And your card is time to move on. It's time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. And everyone keep in mind that that when you hear a reading for someone else, there's a message in it for you too. So everybody who's getting a reading today, you want to listen to all of those and pay attention to these because these are for you too. But back to Regome, time to move on. It's time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. More than that, it's not just letting go of the old and worn out, but it's not getting away from exactly, leaving behind something that has been difficult or unpleasant for you. It's time to let go of that regardless of what you think may happen because of your letting go. So whether that's leaving your husband or wife, or leaving your job, or leaving school, or something like that, whatever that thing is, it's time to go. It's time to go. And what happens when you do that is you make that decision to move on, and all of a sudden the energy shifts and new things can come to you because you've pushed that aside and you've opened up space for something new. So that's what that's about for you, and I hope that is helpful to you. Okay, Mosaic Time said, what is odd? Would love to know. You kept saying odd. That's odd. Just wondered what you were seeing. Oh, you know what, hon? I am sorry that I don't know. That kind of thing sort of flows through me, and so it's just that when I'm doing readings and when I'm, you know, I'm kind of looking off the side or close my eyes and I see things in my head, in my mind's eye, and hear things in my mind's ear, sometimes it's different from anything I've seen before, and it's a little tricky to describe it for you and to interpret for you. And so that's probably why I kept saying, oh, well, that's odd. But I'm not sure because, you know, like I said, it flows through me. Hi, Teresa. Will I be successful? Teresa is saying, will I be successful in obtaining the job for which I most recently applied? Oh, I haven't talked to you in a while, Teresa, and I know that you, I know what job you used to have, and you had been successful there. So you recently applied for a new job. Well, I feel like you're not getting this one, you're getting a different one. And it will seem like a disappointment, but please try not to be too disappointed because it will turn out for the very best, and you will realize it in a pretty short period of time. And then all your upset and disappointment will have been for nothing. I almost said for naught. Sound like my grandfather. But yeah, don't dwell on it too much, because it is a good thing that you don't get this one. You're going to get the next one. Okay, does that make sense? You'll get the next one, and it's going to be good, and you're going to be so glad you didn't get this one. Okay, so relax, go with the flow. It's going to be okay. Thanks, Teresa. I appreciate it. Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. You can still chat in your answers over here in the chat box. All right. Beautiful. Teresa, I see your question on Fiverr. I'm excited that my new page, I guess that's my old page. I guess that means my new page still isn't active yet. But anyway, I'm glad to see your question. I'll get your answer back to you soon. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, sorry, I'm back to you. Mosaic Time says, thanks. What do I need to know right now? Okay, as I said a minute ago, it's one of my favorite questions. Do you want a card? Because I can pull a card for you. So Mosaic Time, go ahead and put on there, let me know if, okay, there's Mosaic Time and Mosaic Time 1. I assume you're the same person. Anyway, type in there and let me know if you want a card or if you just want me to go in blind, okay? Either one, whatever you want for you. I just would not want you to feel like, you were being slighted because you didn't get a card. Okay. Yes, same. They made me re-sign in. Okay. Yeah, I know. As I've said before, this channel is not ideal. We have to put up commercials, and the chatting thing was difficult and so forth. So, okay, Mosaic Time, now that you've signed in again as Mosaic Time 1, you said no, not a card today. Okay, no problem. So what do you need to know? There's something to do with a dachshund, which is very odd, but it just pops right up as a dachshund. And I feel like this is possibly a dog that has passed away for you. But the dog's very, very happy. So there's that for you. It's not unusual for me to get pets, but it's not very, very common. So that's for you. But I also want to see, what else you need to guide your life. So hold on just a moment. Okay, so there's something about the arts that's really important. Oh, I've got an ad. Sorry, if you're not getting an ad right now, I am getting an ad. Stand by, please. I think they come up every 15 minutes, if I remember correctly. Okay. All right. Mosaic Time, talking about the arts, and I realize that your screen name is Mosaic Time, so that kind of makes me think of art in general because of mosaics. But there is something that has to do with the arts for you. And so if you're not already involved in the arts, you need to be. And whether that means you start painting or you volunteer at a museum, it doesn't matter as long as you are involved in the arts in some capacity. Having season tickets to the symphony is great, but you need to be more actively involved. So whether, like I said, whether that's getting your hands dirty, making pots, or painting or photography, or whether you are volunteering to help if you're not artistic yourself, that's what that's about. So more involvement with the arts is for you and that happy dachshund. So I hope that happy dachshund is for you, but it's a very, very happy puppy. So, okay, Tasha. Hi, Tasha. NG class, and it is stressing me out. Well, I figure it out. I need to do well so I can continue on working to be a CPA. That's my roommate, my daughter. She was taking a nap, and now she's getting ready for work. Okay, so Tasha, are you sure you want to be a CPA? Because there's no question that you are capable of doing it. I just am not sure that that is where you ultimately want to be. And while nothing is ever wasted, you know, so let's say you became a CPA and then decided you didn't want to be a CPA after a year or 2 or 10, nothing is wasted. I mean, everything that you learn and do and experience is useful, okay? But I'm not sure that that's really what you want to be doing. And if you've had any sort of aptitude testing or career counseling or anything like that, I suggest you review those results, because I don't think that that's ultimately where you want to go. And like I say, I always say that I will tell you what you will do, not what you should do. What I'm getting is that you're going to have kind of a feeling like you're going to do well in your class, but have a feeling that you care less about doing well than, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're glad that you do well, but you just feel like you have to. And so I want you to really think about that. Think deeply about, is this where I want to go? Is this the direction I want to go? Because I believe that what you will do is you will wind up changing paths and before you complete your certification. Okay? Thank you, Tasha. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Susan. Any messages from the other side? And thanks for your help the other day. You're so welcome, Carrie. I don't know about what I might have helped you with, but good. I always like to know that I've helped in some way. Any messages from the other side? Well, you have one man in particular, and then you've got what I call a Greek chorus. Some people have lost a lot of loved ones, and not necessarily in a tragic way, but grandparents, aunts, uncles, and so forth. But there is one man in particular, and I think he feels like your father, who comes across, and he wears a white shirt, and I think he must have been an engineer of some sort. You know, maybe with a pocket protector or at least a pen and pencil and maybe a slide rule, you know, in his pocket. But he smiles very warmly. He seems like he was a quiet man, but he smiles very warmly. That may not be your father. It may be another father level relative, an uncle, or even a father figure. But that's the way he comes across. He's talking about your child or children, and there's sort of a thumbs up for whatever's happened lately. It could just be the start of school, you know, back to school kind of stuff. And if you don't have a child or children, no, he's saying that you do. It may be a niece or nephew, but he's acting like it's yours. So that's all the news. It's just kind of a, you know, good going. You're doing great. Keep going the way you're going. Good guy. All right. Well, thanks, Carrie. I appreciate it. Okay. Mosaic Time says, not a happy puppy anywhere for me, but yesterday my husband asked when I was going to start painting again now that I am working at home. Sweet. All right. Well, Mosaic Time, get on it. Start painting again, because that's exactly the message that came through for you. Okay. Kim. Hi, Kim. I love seeing you do your work. Anything new for me? Well, thank you. I love doing my work. So it's really fun for me. I mean, I know we don't have like a lot of people tuning in, but I would love it if this got to where I could give a bunch of readings while I'm on the air for an hour and a half. So, okay, anything new for you? Okay, so talking about the kids and back to school, I know that's kind of a big thing for you, because I know you have 4 or maybe 6 kids all together, Brady Bunch style. So the children seem to be a focus right now. And now I remember, I think you have 2 stepchildren who are kind of an issue for you. So there's a focus on that at the moment. And especially one of your daughters or stepdaughters seems to be stirring up some trouble. Remain calm. This is what I'm getting. Remain calm. You really don't have to do anything. Just remain calm and let this situation play out, and it will, okay? Because that seems to be very important for you. The more you react, or the more you act, or the more you try to intervene, the worse it will be for you and everyone else. So now that you know you actually will do this, remain calm and kind of stay out of it. Monitor it, but don't get in it, okay? Thanks a lot, Kim. I appreciate it. Okay. Thank you, Carrie. Mosaic time. When you said you didn't have the happy puppy, the happy dachshund that I saw, that's probably on the other side. That could be for someone else. You know how the wires can get crossed pretty easily when we're in a group. That's why I recommend private readings, even though group readings can be very, very useful. And especially because, like I said, my readings for everyone else are for you too, specifically for you. So pay attention to all the readings. But yeah, if anybody else has a dachshund who's on the other side, it's one of the little kind of reddish brown kind, you know, with the little pointy nose, not the bigger nose. Maybe it's a miniature. Could be a miniature. Anyway, really cute, short hair, really cute and happy. And yeah, so that's awesome. You're welcome, Kim, and thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Mary says, oh, and Kim says, yes, you are right, Susan. The private readings are so fabulous. Thank you for that endorsement. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Tasha says, I believe the dachshund for me. Mine passed, and I have an angel dachshund tattoo on my ankle. And yes, you're totally right about me and my path. There you go. See? And Tasha, your question came in right below Mosaic Times, and so the little dog just got ahead. So that's fun. That's cool. I love to know that. That's fantastic. Okay, let's see here. Mary, you have, and Mosaic Time says, sweet. Mary, you have put two things up here. Just finished a huge garage sale, including expensive furniture, etc. And then you said, where do you see my life going from here? Husband, finances. Interesting. Okay, well, Mary, let me see what I get for you. Some people are having a commercial right now, so I'm going to pause for you because I don't want Mary to miss her answer. Thank you, Kim. Okay, so Mary, back to you. You had a big garage sale. Where do I see your life going from here? Husband and finances. It feels like the garage sale, let me go back and look at your question. Just finished a huge garage sale, including expensive furniture, etc. I hope you did well on that. It seems like the garage sale is kind of the beginning of something for you. And at first I was kind of feeling like it means you're going to be doing a lot of garage sales, or maybe you'll be doing garage sales for other people, or maybe you'll become an organizer. And then I started feeling like, well, maybe it just means a new beginning for you. Since you sold expensive furniture, maybe that means that, you know, you're downsizing, or you're, you know, yeah, downsizing, or finances have been tight, and so you needed that money, and now you're going to need less space or whatever. Either way, this is a time of new beginning for you, okay? So the garage sale was kind of the turning point, the tipping point, or maybe when you decided to have the garage sale, that was the tipping point right there. So good for you, because you've done something really important for yourself. You have created that tipping point, and you've brought it to where the new thing can come in. Remember how I said that readings are for everybody? And our first card, and you may not have been here at the top of the show, but the first card was tranquility, make time to be alone and be still. And I talked about being still and listening to your higher self. And then I had another card when I got guided to pull a card for someone. And that one was time to move on, let go of the old and worn out so that then you can come in. And that's kind of where you are. So if you don't already meditate, and meditation doesn't have to be hard, please make a few minutes to be still and quiet every day. You can do it when you wake up in the morning, before you go to sleep at night, although I really recommend sitting down with the purpose of nothing but closing your eyes, being still and listening, okay? But you are at a turning point, and That is good news. So it seems like it's going to be still a little rocky for a little bit, but it's getting better very steadily. Okay, so you can trust that. Any signs that you see that something's getting better, hold on to that and go, oh, look, that things are better. So that's going to be important for you. All right. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and see my daughter off to work, and I'll be right back. I wish I had like a little sign that says, you know, be right back or something like that, but I will. I know. I'll put it in the thing. Okay. Well, you feeling okay? Be extra careful. Was that quick enough? I'm back. Okay, anybody have any questions for the psychic? I'm here to answer them. Y'all calm down. Lots of fun stuff on Facebook today. The politics are getting hot and heavy, and it's some of it's distressing, but some of it's good. I would like to pontificate for a minute about the reemergence of the divine feminine, and I don't want to be political about this. I want to be philosophical about it. But as you probably know about the age of Aquarius, the dawning of the age of Aquarius was in the 60s, and that's when there was a lot of revolution and a lot of stuff about human rights, civil rights, women's lib started, the birth control pill came out in the early 60s, and so forth. And so that was the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and astrologers say that they cannot pinpoint an exact moment when one age changes to the next. But some believe that we are already in the new age, and I would tend to agree with that. Okay, I have an ad, so I'm going to stop talking till the ad's over. So if you're not having an ad, please stand by. Bye, sweet pea. I love you too. Be careful. I will. How about that? My hard-working youngin'. Yeah, the ads really are annoying. If y'all have any suggestions for commercial-free live broadcasts that doesn't cost a fortune, that would be wonderful. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the reemergence of the divine feminine. So an astrological age lasts about 2,000 years. So the age of Pisces started around the time of Jesus Christ's appearance on this earth. And for some reason, it doesn't seem to be Jesus's fault, because he espoused very feminine values, those of loving and caring and supporting one another. But somehow the divine feminine was quite squashed. And so we have had an imbalance over several centuries of too much yin and not enough yang, too much divine masculine, not enough divine feminine. And in ancient times, in many of the cultures, women were revered and they were treated as being the way to God or the way to the divine. And they were the healers and the teachers and the mothers and the nurturers, and they were, excuse me, they were those values of the divine feminine. And so that's what's coming back. And so what I see happening right now, it's really interesting because we make huge strides with women's issues, such as in Saudi Arabia, women are going to be allowed to drive, which is fantastic. And at this year's Olympics, for the first time, Saudi Arabia had women athletes, and the United States had more female athletes than male athletes. And so there are things like that where you notice that women are making great strides. There are more female heads of state now, for example, than ever before. So we have a lot of situations where you can see the divine feminine coming into bloom. And then you have the backlash. And that's what happens. Anytime you have a big change, you've got a backlash. I mean, they killed Jesus, right? There's going to be, there will always be people who want things to stay the same, even if they're unhappy. They're scared of something changing, even if it's for the better. And so the reemergence of the divine feminine benefits everyone. When we get a balance of the feminine and masculine, that's where everybody has the chance for the greatest happiness and prosperity. And so what we're seeing in some places, and like I said, I'm being philosophical, I'm not being political, but we are seeing some places where women's rights are being threatened. And certainly that can be said for certain other cultures and countries other than the United States, but it's also true in the United States and Canada and Australia and UK and China. You know, we are having some issues with women's rights, and that is just the backlash. That's the the waves are coming in, the tide's coming in, and the beach resists, but the tide will come in whether it resists or not. So the shoreline will be forever changed, and that is what's happening, and it will be good. It will be good. So definitely, if you are involved in something political to protect women's rights, please go ahead and continue trying to save women's rights. We need that. But don't be afraid that it won't happen. It will happen. The tide will come in, and the shoreline will change, and that's where we are. So that's awesome. Okay, I've got about half an hour left, a little bit more than half an hour left on my time to give readings. So call your friends. And if you haven't figured it out yet, there's a little block over here, a little tab that says chat. You can sign up to chat in your question, and I will give you an answer. In the meantime, I am kind of doing some technical stuff. I'm working on my Fiverr account. If you don't already know about it, at my website, SusanKMorrow.com, I have recently reduced my rates up to 50% on almost every service. So everything is really, really affordable, and I have a Fiverr account as well. And so there's a lot that I can do for you for not much money. The private readings, as Kim said earlier, are fabulous, and they're now only $99. So reading and writing or personal reading with me, my Suzi-Q A psychic reading, which gives you everything, or VIP reading, those are both $99. The VIP reading, which is a full hour with me on the phone, more angel cards, much more in-depth process, that's only $195. So everything is pretty affordable. There are other things as well. You can also get into the club and get 10% discounts on services for only $99 to join the club. And that gives you some other things as well. A free Mystic Mail, which is exclusive to the club, and blah, blah, blah. And you'll find all of that right here. SusanKMorrow.com. Okay, let's see what we've got. Kim says, yes, they are fabulous and have made a huge impact on my personal life. Thank you, Kim. I really appreciate you saying that. I really do. I've enjoyed working with you. And for the rest of you, you don't know that Kim and I have known each other since we were, I don't know, junior high or something, high school, junior high, something like that. For a long, long time, we've known each other. But we haven't always been in touch, And I recently was able to read for her a couple of times. And they were really good readings, and she really felt that they were helpful to her. And so, like she has said, they've had a huge impact on her personal life. But I can't go into any details, obviously, because it's confidential. But yeah, it was really, really rewarding. And she's a terrific client. Thanks, Kim. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So anyway, if you want to try a reading on Kim's recommendation, you can get one for just $99. I'm Susie. You bring the cues, and I'll provide the psychic aids. So, alrighty, let's look at some more of my technical stuff that you don't care about. That's great, huh? So I have to keep this going. I also have to keep up a constant stream of conversation. Not everybody can do that. I have some, sorry, I have some experience with radio, and I have some experience with a little bit on TV, not a whole lot. Certainly a lot of experience on stage and a lot of experience speaking. And what's interesting, of course, about working on the radio or on television sometimes is that you don't have a visible audience. I've taken calls on the radio, and so then I have one person that I'm talking to. But talking on the radio without knowing who's listening to you is it's a little bit of a trick. Just like this is now. I feel like I'm talking directly to you, and I hope you feel like I'm talking directly to you. But I am not entirely sure who all those yous are. So it's kind of interesting, but I enjoy doing it. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I plan to go to 3:30, but since we seem to be slowing down on questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who participated. Had a great time with you today. And oh, I'll draw one more card for you. How about that? Okay, I'll do that real quick. Alchemy. Oh, great card. Again, this is from Doreen Virtue's deck of Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. This is Alchemy. It says, you have the Midas touch right now, and every project you begin turns to gold. That's pretty exciting. I feel like this is for me and for you, which is how it often is. I've started really paying attention to the cards that my clients get. So I've got several things that I'm starting right now, and so I'm very, very glad to know that these are going to go well. Same for you. Take a look at what is it you've been waiting to get done. There's some project that you've been wanting to do, something you've been wanting to produce. I feel like it's more of a creative thing for you, like writing a book or making something, sewing or knitting or something like that you've been meaning to do. Now's the time to find the time to do it. And especially if you're doing some sort of craft to sell or starting a business, that is fantastic. So you're in great shape. This is the time to do it. Okay, hold on one sec. Seems like I've got one more remark. Let's see here. Tasha says, thank you. Kim says, if you have time, I would love to ask if you have any thoughts for me. If there could be a new career for me, it is so hard to find something that works around a mom's schedule. Well, Kim, you won't always have a mom's schedule. You know that, as I have fairly recently learned. I'm an empty nester, except my daughter still lives here. But she's my roommate. She works and goes to school and does her thing. And we really enjoy being roommates. It goes really well. So anyway, back to you, Kim. I will do this, and then I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Of course, we all know you're very smart. Even people who don't know you must know that from your name being Kim. I want to say you can do anything you turn your hand to, but that's not entirely true. There are places where you'll be happier than others. One thing that you need to know is not to sell yourself short, all right? That's what's important for you. I'm not getting a specific career, except I am seeing it in an office as opposed to, say, a store or at home by yourself. I am seeing it in an office. But have the confidence in yourself, have the belief in yourself to apply for the higher thing, the next job, the better one. Don't just take whatever comes along because it suits your schedule, okay? You're not going to be happy there. And I always say, I tell you what you will do, not what you should do. So that's what you're going to do. Is you're going to do that first. You're going to take a job that fits your schedule, and you won't be very happy there. And so that you're going to change over to something that you really, really enjoy. So be on the lookout for that will really enjoy. And actually, I see that as being something where you're fairly independent, like real estate sales or other kind of outside sales or something where it could be something where you're an independent contractor. So that's what will come after this office job where you're not all that thrilled. But it does suit your schedule. So anyway, good luck, Kim, and let me know how it goes. Thank you to everyone. I've really enjoyed being here today. I'll take off my glasses so you can actually see my eyes, my face. I know they glare, but I can't see without them. So I really appreciate you all being here. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to working with you really soon. Remember, SuziKMorrow.com, where you'll find Suzi-Q A. Be sure to sign up for the newsletters and the free report that comes with it. And so that is it for me today. Until next time, be good.